What's going on, everybody? It's Joker Gamer here, and today we're going to be doing a short little mini series. It's going to be, I'll call it a from A to Z create and upload YouTube videos. So basically, what this short little series, it's going to be quick to the point, but I'm not going to go too fast because I want you guys to understand. I have a lot of people who ask me, they want to know what I use, what settings I use, basically just how do I get my videos the way that they are. So this is going to be everything that I do from my point of view. And in my opinion, these are my settings and how I do it. So if you guys want to follow along and copy my settings, please feel free to do so. So we're going to be doing everything from recording a video, setting up your settings, to editing a video straight to YouTube. So A to Z, that's how it's going to go here. I haven't seen too many series on how to do that, so that's what we're going to do. It'll probably be about 2 or 3 episodes long. So alright guys, let's get started. So the programs that we're going to be using are going to be, we're going to have Sony Vegas Pro, we're going to have Photoshop, Dxtory, Audacity, and then Audio Stream Splitter if you need it. Now, I will be putting all of this stuff in the description below on where to get it, how to get it, and if it costs money or if it's free. So let's go ahead and get started with Dxtory. So let me pull that over for you guys. Alright, so here it is. Oh, and just so you guys know, I zoomed in just a tad, so that's why my screen looks a little cut off on the edges, so just so you can see the text a little better. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get started in here. The first tab doesn't have anything in it except for a whole bunch of horrible commands. Now, alright, so this is the tab you want to start in. This is the overlay tab. So what this is all the overlay is your basically your FPS counter, which is right here in the corner. This is what you're going to see during your recordings. No one else is going to see this in your recording unless you set the settings to do so. Now, when you first start up and you start recording, you're going to see that and it's going to be green. So you're going to have to set a record button, but we'll get into that in a second. Now, once you start recording, this is going to change to this color right here that you set. So that way you know that you're live, and it also tells you, how many frames per second that you're getting, which is very important depending on what kind of video you're going for as far as quality. So basically, just keep use default setting checked. Now what you want to do is keep this on default up here, and then keep default set. Now what that's going to do is every single game that you run, it's going to automatically use your default settings. That way you don't have to repeatedly go in here and change it for every game that you play. So keep this checked off, and then I like to keep these checked, and these being checked off will show you, your FPS and that you're actually recording or not recording. And then leave these ones down here blank. So now we're going to go ahead and go over to the folder settings. Now this is very important. Now when I set this up, I went out and I bought a 7200 RPM hard drive. That is very important because the faster that your hard drive can spin and record at, the better quality your videos are going to be. There's not going to be any stutter, there's not going to be any lag. So I recommend at least 7200 for your speed. There are a lot of hard drives out there that are below that, like 5200 or something like that, but that's not what you want for a smooth, non-stutter, lag-free video. So as soon as you do that, you're going to want to go in here and you're going to want to basically set to your hard drive. So you're going to go in here, like this is my slow hard drive, my base one, and then this is my fast one that I bought. So basically you just go in here, you make a folder where you want your videos to be recorded to. So this is where I want all of my fresh raw videos to go. So then you can go up in here to your search bar, you're going to copy the address, basically the location of it. You're going to copy it, you're going to go to benchmark, sorry. You're going to go to your benchmark button, and then you're going to paste. So that is where your videos are going to save to. Now once you save it there, you're going to want to run this benchmark, because what it's going to do is it's going to pop out a number right here. This is how fast, how many megabytes per second that your hard drive can record at. Without this, it's not going to know, and it's going to be very difficult. So once you set it to where you want it, you're going to hit run, and then it's going to run through and it's going to say, okay, this is the best setting for that we can basically record your videos at. So it came up with that number right there, and then you're going to hit OK. Alright, now it is set. Make sure it's checked that that's where you want it, and then we're going to move on to the next one. So the next one is your hotkey setting. The only really important thing in here is going to be what you want to press when you're ready to start and stop recording. So click it like so, press the button you want, and then it will set it to, okay, when I press F12, this is going to be recording, and then this is going to change from green to orange or whatever color you have set here once you have started. Now, you can set push to talk. That's basically if you wanted to capture your voice on a button. I don't do that. I keep it, in case you rage out or want to punch babies or do anything crazy like that, it's going to catch it, so that way, you don't have to sit here and push a button whenever you get surprised or something like that. It'll capture everything for you. You can go back in and edit later on if you need to, if there's any hiccups, or maybe you sneezed or blew a booger, or I don't know, something like that by accident. You can edit that out later. That's why we're going to talk about Audacity and stuff like that. So just leave all this blank unless you want to take screenshots. That's up to you guys. Also remember, like what I said, keep every single one of these tabs. Make sure that default setting is set because we are doing a default profile. Now the video. Okay, this is the juicy part right here, you guys. This is what basically makes the video look the way it does. So we have our video codec right here. This is where a lot of people use the plain Dxtory codec. I don't. Okay, I've looked up some reviews. I've figured out what works best for me and what I like to use, and I use the Lagarith Lossless codec. Now, I'll put a link in the description down below on where to get that. So it's free. You just come here. I'm going to put this link in here. This is their website. There's no viruses or anything like that. I wouldn't do that to you guys. But you go down to the bottom here. You just click Lagarith install. You click that, and then it's going to download it. And then once it downloads it and you install it, you don't have to do anything fancy. Just restart Dxtory, pull it back up, and then once you drop this menu down, it'll automatically be in there. Nothing fancy, no file editing you have to do. It'll automatically be here. Once you have it selected, then you're going to go ahead and click this little pen or whatever the hell that is. Click that. This will pull up another little menu here. So all that I use in here, okay, is use multi-threading. Now what that's going to do is that's going to use, depending on how many cores you have in your processor, it's going to use all of them together to basically render out the video. So there's no pixelation or anything stupid like that. If this is unchecked, it's just going to use like one core, I believe, or something like that. So you don't want that. That's pixelation, that's stuttering, that's bad. So then we go over here to the mode, and it's all, I think that, yeah, this is default. Okay, I have it set to YV12. I don't know exactly what it does, but I've done some research, and these are the settings that work for me, and this is how I do it. So just YV12. I don't use any of this other stuff on here. And then we click OK. Now, clipping, margin, I don't mess with any of that stuff because, I mean, come on, you want it to capture your entire screen. You don't want it to capture just a small square of your screen. So I leave all that zeroed out, default, whatever you say. Frame rate. Okay, now frame rate is you're probably going to mess with this. If you're going to change anything in here, it's going to be this right here. Once you start, once you set these settings, you're going to basically leave all this shit alone, and this will be the only thing that you change. Now this right here, when you come over, that's why this overlay comes important right here. So this is going to tell you what you're getting in game, depending on how good of a computer you have. So if you're getting 30, 40, or even 50 FPS, you're going to want to put this to 30. Okay, and the reason why I say that is because if you're not getting over 60 in your game, like let's say you're getting like 55 or 45 consistently, like it never goes above 60, then if you come in here and you set this to 60, you're going to have missing frames, or what they call duplicate frames, when you go to edit your video. And what that is or stutter. And what that is your computer was not processing enough information to get above the frames that you were playing. So basically you're playing a game, your computer is lagging out because it can't handle all of that. It's not getting above 60, so what's going to happen is you're going to have really bad stutter, and it is noticeable. So when you're playing your game, you're going to have these really quick, like 1 second hitches where the game is going to freeze for a split second. That's the lag I'm talking about. So only go above the number that you're getting above in your game, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So I mean, if you're playing and you're getting 70 or 80 or even 90 consistently, it never drops below 60, then use 60, and then so on and so on, depending on how good your computer is. So don't ever go below what you're getting. Okay, so I keep it at 30 because I don't have a beastie computer yet, so I get roughly, between 30 and 40 or 50 or something like that. So I just keep mine at 30, and then down here in the output, we're going to do file output. Now what this is going to do is when you're done when you're done creating your video and you stop recording, you hit your stop record button, it's going to output the file, which is basically going to look something like this. You're going to go in here to wherever you have it set to, boom, there's your video. You're done. It file outputted it to the address that you put in there in the benchmark. Direct show output, that is for streaming. So I don't use Dxtory for streaming. I don't know how to use Dxtory for streaming, so I just leave that alone. File format is AVI because you want to output it to an AVI file. That is a basic file. It's good for anything really, so just leave it on that. Raw cap, I believe, is also for streaming, so I don't do that shit either. Include your mouse cursor, self-explanatory, click that. Now you can see your mouse while you're playing your game, which is good if you're playing a strategy or any kind of game that uses your mouse. You want people to be able to see where your mouse is and what you're clicking on. A lot of people forget that, and then when they're in the game, you don't see their mouse. All you see is, stuff going on the screen, but you're like, what is he clicking on? Where's his mouse? Keep that clicked if you want guys to see your mouse. Include overlay. This, if you check this, then while you're recording, you're gonna see this. So if you don't want your viewers to see this, keep this unchecked. I'm going to check it off because I'm going to need it in a little bit to show you guys an example of what's going on. Synchronize FPS, that is basically virtual sync. It keeps the screen tearing down, but it also puts a huge load on your processor, so I leave that unchecked because, like I said, my computer is shit. So, scaling, I leave that. A lot of people go to the size and they'll set it to what is it? 1980 by 1080p, which is, 1080. I don't do that. I keep it at 100%. That way it's going to capture the full capacity of what I'm recording at, and then I do all my editing, and I do all that stuff later on in Vegas Pro. So I just want this to just capture raw whatever I'm looking at, and then I do the editing later. So leave that at 100. So now we're going to go over here to the audio. This is strictly just for recording your game and your voice. Okay, so I leave all of this shit down here below default. If you guys know about this stuff and you want to change it, feel free, but I don't know a whole lot about this stuff, so I just leave it on the default and it works for me. So basically what you want to do, this is important, okay, because I think the default is going to be something different. So if you're lucky and it's set already, then good job. But basically you're going to want to set, I believe it's going to start you out with 1. So if you click the plus, it'll add more tracks to record. So basically what you want to do is, for number 1, you want it to be your game. So whatever the sound of your computer is coming out of, if you have it coming out of speakers or whatever, I don't recommend that because then there'll be an echo in your video because your mic's going to capture it. But so for example, I wear a headset when I play my games, so I wanted to record the sound coming out of my headset, which is going to be everything that's on the computer. So it's going to record the game sound, it's going to record anybody else talking to me, stuff like that. So track 1 is going to be game audio. Track 2, your microphone. So you want to set it to your microphone. So now it's going to record the game and my mic on 2 separate tracks. So that way when you go to edit, you can edit them separately. That's good for if you want to edit your voice, because if your voice and your game are on the same track, you really can't edit them separately. They're all on the same track. So you can't adjust volume separately. So you want them on separate tracks. So you can basically, if you want to make your game audio a little louder than your voice audio, stuff like that. Leave all this at 100. Don't mess with any of that stuff. I don't mess with the screenshots because I don't take screenshots while I'm playing, but you can mess with that stuff here. The advanced settings, there's only one thing on here that I mess with, and that's processing threads. So, like I was saying about the cores, alright, so we're basically going to go Control-Delete, and we're going to pull up the Windows Task Manager. Okay, when you do that, let me show you guys that real quick. Alright, this is what you guys normally see when you pull up your Control-Delete Task Manager. You see this. So if you go to Performance, I believe there's a better way to do this, but you see right here, there's 4 boxes right here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 cores in my processor. I have an i5. I'll also be putting my specs in the description so you guys can compare and see how you'll do in your videos, I guess. But I have 4 cores, so basically you want to set your processing thread to how many cores that you have. I forgot to set this one time, and it was set to 1, and my video stuttered. I had an hour of recording that had to go to waste because the footage was not smooth, it was not good, it sucked ass. So set it to however many cores that you have. Okay, so 4, so that means that all 4 of these cores are going to be working together. And then, like I said, that 4 core goes in correlation with this right here. So you have multi-threading checked, and then you have 4 cores. Boom. Now it's going to use all of your cores together, so that way your CPU usage right here doesn't shoot all the way up to the freaking top when you're trying to record. Because like I said, once your CPU usage hits max 100%, these are going to spike up, and the computer's going to go, whoa, that's too much shit, I can't handle that, and you're going to get really bad stuttering, and your video's going to look horrible. So, and that's pretty much it. I don't mess with any of this other stuff right here. So boom, there you go. Dxtory is now set up. It's set for default profile. So that means that every game that you start, even if it's a new game you just got, it's already going to be set up for that game. You don't have to ever mess with this shit ever again. Alright, so now that that's done, all you want to do is hit minimize. Now we're going to go to a game, we're going to hit our F12 that we set to record, and I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. See you in a second. Alright guys, I'll be quiet, lady. Oh god. Alright, so here we are. In the top right corner you can see the overlay. You see the counter, it's going between 50 and 60. That's what I'm talking about. It's not staying well above 60, so you want to set that to 30. So, but as you can see, the video is nice and smooth. I can shoot bitches in the head. Oh, hold on, there's a guy right there. Let's shoot him in the face. Alright, so yeah. So basically you guys get the idea. Like I said, in the top right, the counter up there, if you turn off overlay, you're not going to see, you guys will not be able to see that. You'll see it while you're playing, but no one else is going to see it in your videos. So, yeah, I mean, that's
main target. Richard Strong.
Shoot him! Oh, he's running away. Oh, I missed. Oh, God, I suck. Got him!
The targets are leaving. Take them out and leave your position.
god, I'm getting carried away with this game. Alright, so that's basically it, you guys. We'll take up episode 2 on how to edit this footage right here. This footage right here that we just captured is what I'm going to be using. It's going to be part of the series. So, if you guys have any questions, if I went way too fast or anything like that, please leave a comment down below. I will respond to every comment. So, don't think that, you know, if you guys ask a question, I'm not going to answer. So, alright guys, I'll see you in the next one. Like I said, next episode we'll be doing editing and voice mic editing. So it's basically we're going to edit this video track, we're going to do a few cool things to it, and then we're going to edit the voice separately and we'll put it all together. And then in the third episode we'll be doing, I believe, Photoshop and a couple other things, you know, thumbnails, stuff like that. So, alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this series. I will see you guys in the next one.